YouTube, I'm new at this. Welcome. This is your host AD checking in. It's a place for men to address their everyday mental battles, emotional troubles, and everyday stresses of the world. This is Men's Mental on a Million. Welcome to the show. Today I want to speak about love. Of course, people will say, oh, he want to talk about love, that's love in relationships. I want to talk about love on the level of the love that men receive. Is it conditional or rather unconditional? Most times, as a man in America, a black man at that, most of the love that you receive is conditional. And it's based on the condition that you will continue to provide me with such a feeling, a resource, or a thing that is going to make me love you. Once I stop providing that resource or thing, the love is then taken away. I've heard so many men around my age, I'm 34 by the way, have the same complaint of why does it seem like we have to beg for love in our relationships? Now, me personally, I can personally relate to that. I was in a 5-year relationship with the mother of my children, and oftentimes I felt like I had to beg for love, for the type of love that I wanted to receive, I wasn't receiving, even though you may vocalize it and say, I need this, or I need that, or could you do this, or could you do that. But after 5 years, for some, the motivation is no longer there to make sure that your man is being loved on correctly, or ensuring that his happiness is your priority as well. Even though in my recent therapy sessions, I've come to find that happiness is based upon the individual. Happiness is based upon how you feel about yourself. No one can make you happy. You have to be happy before that relationship with that person. Otherwise, you are voided. When you are voided, you do different things to fill voids. Now, when you do different things to fill voids, you are not whole as a person, and that has to be addressed. So, some people address it with drugs, alcohol. Some people spend a lot of money. They go buy all these nice designer, all to try to feel whole or try to hide the pain from within. But that pain is already there, and those outside things are not going to fill that void or that hole. One of my things are in my upbringing, my childhood, I would often feel insufficient. I felt insignificant. I felt forgotten. I felt unloved as a child. And when I got older and got in relationships, and when I didn't receive the love or attention that I craved from my partner, I felt those same feelings as a child, the abandonment, feeling unloved, feeling unwanted. So you do things to supplement that just for the moment. It's no different than taking a drug. It's no different than, I haven't drank in 8 months, but now I'm about to relapse because something has triggered me. And I've done the same thing when it comes to women, when it comes to cheating, when it comes to being dishonest. I have done those things. That's because I did not address the things within myself. Now that I have addressed those things within myself, I'm starting to see the world, myself, in a more clearer place. Um, Not exactly an epiphany, but there's definitely been an awakening. And one of the things to go back to my first point is, why aren't men loved correctly? This can be because we are choosing women that don't know how to love correctly. We fall in love with the personality. She pretty, she fine, she has all the physical attributes that we like sexually. And What we don't do is see how deep the mind goes. We don't see how deep the soul goes, because you will be soul tied to this person. You want to ensure that your soul is going to be tied to a person that's worth tying it to. So no, men or nobody should have to beg for love. No one should have to endure that, especially being in a relationship already. You just have to find different ways to love. You have to teach a person how to love you if they're willing to learn. And if they're not willing to learn, that's a whole different situation. However, everyone deserves to be loved, cared for, and talked to. Um, Certain things that come with that are the abandonment. You know, you can feel abandoned, you can feel unwanted. There's a certain level of anxiety that comes with that as well. In my case, there was a certain level of depression that came with that. And yes, I have been depressed. I have dealt with a lot of anxiety just throughout years, because also a violent environment that I grew up in. This, there are certain things that you would always expect. Sometimes your head is always on the swivel because you're always expecting something to pop off. Violence or robberies or shootings, bullets coming your way, all these different things. And this plays into how we are as men, not just for men, but particularly speaking to men, because most of the people with a podcast, they're already well off, doing well. Right now, I'm on the way up. I still working 9 to 5. I'm just like you. So I just want to put certain things out into the air, the things that I deal with, and just letting brothers know that you're not alone. You're not alone in this fight. I get it. I'm from the block. I get it. I'm from the hood. I get it. I'm a crack era baby. So I understand that there are certain things there are certain things that you have not dealt with. However, you're trying to deal with women out here, and you still making the same mistakes year after year after year, woman after woman after woman. It's because you haven't looked in that mirror. And that's the hardest thing to do, is look in that mirror and make that change, but it's necessary. Because if you don't, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So we've all reached a certain level of insanity at one point in our lives, and probably still going through it. So this is Men's Mental on a Million. We will address mental health. We will address stress, anxiety, what comes with working the 9 to 5, daily stresses, and how to get through it. This is your host, AD. Thanks for tuning in.